Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Combo Breaker 99 back in the fight front once again. Make sure y'all subscribe. Just back with a real quick video here on my thoughts on, Mikey Garcia as far as what he's doing as a businessman and a boxer. He has a fight coming up on DAZN on February 29th against Jesse Vargas. I know a lot of people aren't really excited about that fight. I'm not either, but I got to say, I got to take my hat off to Mikey Garcia as far as what he's doing business-wise. Recently signed a deal with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing for just a one-fight deal. He's definitely making that example of an independent fighter, a free agent. And, what do I think of that? Somebody asked me that. I was like, hey, man, I got to give this guy respect because, he's putting his career in his own hands. Wherever he goes, he's looking for the big money fights. And that shows you, or big fights in general, the biggest challenges, just like, for example, him moving up to fight Errol Spence. I know a lot of people knew, and myself knew he wasn't going to win that fight, but he was still taking a risk. At the same time, he was still, fattening his pockets up. Let's be honest. He could have won and he could have not, which he didn't win, but he still walked away with the bag, and so really he's, looking out for himself by taking care of his legacy, and he's taking care, himself financially, because a lot of people out there, sometimes when you just sign over to one deal and one promoter, it kind of limits yourself as far as, legacy wise. Yeah, you can be comfortable with the money. If you're comfortable with that, then that's fine. We just don't want to hear other names always brought up if those fights can't happen. Same situation, like I'm a big fan of Terrence Crawford as a fighter, but him being with Bob Arum and, Errol Spence being with PBC, it just kind of makes for a lot of red tape talk. You know what I mean? It makes for a lot of politics talk. Those are the barriers, it's either Bob Arum or it's Al Heyman, those are the barriers. Like every time you say, why can't this person fight? It's like, oh no, I can't because, so-and-so, I'm with so-and-so. But it's like when Mikey Garcia makes these situations, it's like, you want to fight Errol Spence? Fine, I can do that. I'm signed on. Hey, you want to fight Jesse Vargas? Fine, I'm signed on. Let's do that. It's just like, for example, let's say if he wanted to fight Terrence Crawford. Hey, I'm not obligated to nobody else. Hey, Bob Arum, let's make this deal. You know what I mean? So to me, Mikey, he has the best, he has one of the best, I feel like Mikey has one of the best, paths right now, definitely. Well, it's better. Let's just say it's a little bit better than what top rank has for Terrence Crawford. I also feel like Errol Spence, he has a pretty good setup as well. Sean Porter do, because you got to think the divisions they're in, the pastures are a lot greener there. PBC has most of the welterweight, so Errol Spence, Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, they're all sitting pretty. Manny Pacquiao, they're all sitting pretty for where they're at. But like, for example, we look at Danny Jacobs. After he left HBO, he knew that all the middleweights were going to be going to DAZN. Everybody from Demetrius Andrade, Canelo, Triple G, even super middleweights, like Callum Smith, they're going to be fighting over here on DAZN. Danny Jacobs signed a deal over there because, that's where he was looking much better for him. So he was like, hey, if I'm going to fight between middleweight and 168, I got to be over here. So he still signed a deal that could fit him as far as financially and legacy-wise, whereas Terrence Crawford, it's kind of hard right now because every time you mention Sean Porter, it's like that fight's not going to happen. If Errol Spence's name, that's not going to happen. Danny Garcia, that fight can't happen. It's always one side of the other's fault, But imagine if he was a free agent, then there would be no excuses. So my thing is, like, this is just my advice to younger fighters who want to come up as well. Like, it's kind of cool to sign with the promoter early on in your career just to get that exposure. But to me, once you made a certain amount of accomplishments, once you won belts in multi divisions, and once you made it, definitely you're on the top 5 or top 10 pound for pound list, you can kind of call your own career from there. You know what I mean? Everybody's going to want you. Your stock is up. Like a Terrence Crawford, if he wanted to sign a 1 or 2 fight deal with Eddie Hearn, if he got rid of Bob Arum, or if he wanted to sign, with Al Heyman for a 1 or 2 fight deal, they would definitely gladly take him, especially to make big fights, So it's just that in the long run, you got to kind of look at, that's what I was saying. Like when you look at what Mikey Garcia is doing, it's always like he's never committed to one person. He's committed to himself, as far as what he's doing for his legacy and for his his bank account. Let's be real. That's why I just say for a lot of young fighters, if you want to use a promoter in the beginning, but when you start knowing your worth, that's whenever you got to start, making money for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, you've seen it a lot in the past with all these fighters. Sometimes you're committed to these big slave contracts. You wind up owing money, or you wind up not making what you should have been making. Like, we don't know what Bob Arum is paying Terrence Crawford. It must be good because he's staying with him, but at the same time, it could probably be better, if he did it on his own. Because look at Manny Pacquiao. He didn't wind up with the money he should have made. Once you look at his resume, and all the titles he's held should be up there with Floyd Mayweather, right? But, of course, what happens in the ring isn't the same thing. It doesn't reflect what goes into your bank account, So, yeah, man, it was just a quick video I wanted to do here, man. Just kind of make a little discussion video about, self-promotion, being a free agent versus having a long contract committed to one umbrella, Again, young fighters out there, man, just as advice, it's cool to use a promoter for a while, but, just to get heard, but when you start knowing your worth and you start building your stock up, you should start making plans of how long you want to stay under one umbrella, and then kind of branch out, to start making big fights, as far as big money and, big challenges, So, yeah, man, again, I just say, yeah, I got to give Mikey Garcia that kind of respect because, hey, like, if he wants an Errol Spence, if he wants a Terrence Crawford, Keith Thurman, Manny Pacquiao, Danny Garcia, all of them names are open to him. There's no always talk to this guy, talk to that guy. Oh, I want to fight. I can't fight none of the PBC guys. Oh, the PBC guys are cowards. You get tired of hearing that mess sometime. We just want to see these big fights happen. So, guys need to go on this free agent thing now. You know what I'm saying? They really need to go on that to make their pockets bigger and the fights bigger. So, yeah, man, that's all I got on this, guys. Combo Breaker 99. Make sure y'all subscribe. I'll be back with another video. I'm out. Peace.